this is where the fun begins.
But we've seen this movie before.
What's Sam Pittman known for?
I don't know.
Exactly. Is the Arkansas athletic program cursed? But you never know what the loudest mouth in the fan base and his wild band of misfits are going to say.
I have a river of Kool-Aid for basketball.
It's time to step inside the Hawg Pen with your hosts, Razorback Zach and Marcus MC Carlton.
Let me talk to you.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to an all-new episode of Inside the Hawg Pen. Let me take 1 minute. You smell that? You smell it? It's the smell of victory. That's right. Oh my goodness. Presented by Seven Oaks Steakhouse and Seafood in Rock City Wraps. You are inside the Hawg Pen. I am, of course, your host, Razorback Zach from Central Arkansas. And on a very special night, the glue that holds the whole damn thing together, my buddy, my co-host, celebrating his, third year?
This is number 3, man. Praise hell, praise Dale.
Let's take a look back at how it started.
Oh, Lord.
That is the first.
Look at all that hair. Look at that hair.
That is and then now look at us. Let's take a look back real quick. I'm going to share this real quick, man. And let's take a look back at MC. Just a glimpse. We're not going to be there for very long. But MC's first day, his debut on Inside the Hawg Pen. Take a look. What's up, Razorback Nation? It is Razorback Zach live from Inside the Hawg Pen here in Central Arkansas on what is a still icy Central Arkansas at this point. But it is rocking and rolling in Fayetteville. I have got a full show tonight. It is a special post-game edition of the Auburn game, and I couldn't let this night pass up without doing a post-game show. But, man, I've got a full house, and I got to tell you, if you are not liking, sharing, following, notifying, or whatever, you got to do it because
Zach's
you do
kung
not
fu
miss
fighting.
a second of the action here at 4-Star Sports Media. They had a great week down at the Senior Bowl, and we're going to keep rocking with the post-game show. So, my guest today, what is this, right, left, top?
He still hadn't figured out which side I'm on either.
Going to be my soon-to-be new co-host of Inside the Hawg Pen, Marcus Carlton. Marcus, what's up, my man? Before he was MC.
Hey, I wasn't even MC at this point.
I'm kind of like you. I'm a little shell-shocked at the moment.
I know, right?
Man.
All right. Enough of that.
That's in the archives if y'all want to go back and make fun of us and laugh and see MC when he had hair and before he became MC. So
we were reminiscing all day today about it, and
yeah.
My God, we've come a long way, haven't we?
That was after the Auburn game, where they come to Bud Walton in 2022 as number 1 in the country and left with shall we say imprints on their face from Devo.
I wasn't going to go that far with it, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. But we've got a busy show today and tomorrow.
Yes,
so tomorrow, Central Arkansas, 101.1 FM The Answer. I will have Chris Goodman, general manager of the Hot Springs Wise Guys Arena football team, on to talk about his football team and what's to come, and how that impacts the city of Hot Springs and the region and the community around him. I'll also be talking about John Calipari's return to Rupp a little bit more than we are tonight.
Oh, son.
But, it's going to be a good one. And then you go down to Austin and knock off the Longhorns.
Anytime we can do that, it's a good day.
All that and more at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning on 101.1 FM The Answer. The phone lines, once again, will be open. Your phone number will be 501-823-0965. Now, next week, I've got an even bigger guest because it's opening day of baseball.
Oh.
All right?
Yeah, baby.
Baseball next week. It's going to be fun. But tonight, we're going to jump right into MC School of Hog Hoops. And at the bottom of the hour, we've got a very special guest. He's a close friend of mine. He was on the show, the premiere episode of Inside the Hawg Pen Radio. He is the Gridiron Expert. Alex Galbraith's going to talk a little Super Bowl. And on behalf of all Cowboys fans, I'm going to say fly, Eagles, fly, because screw the...
Oh, my God. A Cowboy fan actually rooting for the Eagles?
This one time.
Wow.
One time. Because cares about the dang Chiefs?
I can't. Yeah, I can't do the Chiefs, man. I can't.
Oh man! All right, D-Mad, hit his promo. Let's go to school. You're muted, MC. He's so excited.
I'm so damn excited. I couldn't. I forgot to unmute my mic.
I have a river of Kool-Aid for basketball.
Yeah.
Oh boy!
Oh, what a week, man! What a week. The river is now flowing again because it's been filled up with big blue tears.
So you're telling me that the dam has been opened and water is flowing freely again?
Yeah, I'm a big mobster movie fan. Godfather is one of my favorites of all time. Godfather Part 3 comes into play right here in the scene where Al Pacino says, "Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in." And that's exactly what happened this week, man. We went up to Lexington, to Rupp Arena, hallowed Rupp Arena. Their Super Bowl, whether they want to admit it or not, their Super Bowl, they had people lined up 12 hours ahead of time, attendance record. They're bringing out old coaches, old players to come in so they can all just have their big boo fest and, beat Cal by 30 points because Pope is, the next Adolph Rupp here and was going to lead them to the promised land over the evil, maniacal John Calipari who left.
Not and the $1,000 tickets.
Yeah, who left for a downgrade in their eyes. And all he did was come in there and get your button ready, Zach. He whooped that 9 months.
If most of you can't tell by now, we've got some new toys here. And
9 months of listening to the Big Blue Crybaby Nation talk about how Cal's washed and he runs an archaic offense and he can't win anymore and he's lost his fastball and all this. And not only did he go to Rupp and win, he went to Rupp, dominated the game, coached circles. I mean, big, wide circles around Mark Pope and won by double digits.
I mean, which, by the way, before we go any further, let me thank everybody that came out to the ITA, the first official ITHP watch party.
Oh, it was great, man. We had a great time.
Our board burnt out in post game. So
in post game, yeah.
We upgraded our board. So, and this one has a lot more toys on it and a lot more buttons too. But man, hey, big thank you to Seven Oak Steakhouse, Chef James Harris, restaurant owner
that
Chad
was great, man.
For hosting us. Great time, great turnout. And it's even better because, like you said, Kentucky went down.
Yeah.
Real quick though, when you're looking at this game, first off, John Calipari ran a play called horns down.
Yeah. Speaking of, I mean, I've got a little visual aid here that kind of sums up exactly how things went last Saturday night in Rupp. just grab, the old Buck Owens song, got a tiger by the tail. Well, he's got a wildcat by the back of the neck, and he just basically went in, snapped their neck, and made them like it.
So I mean, but from the get go, and we've talked about this all week.
Yeah,
if they didn't boo Cal, would we have lost that game, and would the guys have stepped up the way? There you go. The way that they did, because I don't want to say that.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, you could make that point. I still think we would have played pretty well because Thero and I think it was DJ Wagner that was in post game with Thero. They were talking about it that earlier in the week. Coach was talking to him about going back and being back in Rupp and all this. And one of the two guys, I can't remember if it was Thero or if it was DJ Wagner, just spoke up to him and said, "Coach, we got you, man. But how are you handling this? We got you." And sure enough, man, they went back and they took care of business. And we got to, in that game, the three guys that came with him from Kentucky all three guys had great games. Theo, DJ Wagner, and Big Z. We got to throw some love to Big Z. The last two games, the Texas and Kentucky games, both, man. He has been a difference maker. But I have to come on here. I got to put a 1 to the sky for Nelly Davis. That man he's starting to look like what we thought he would look like.
Okay,
when we got him out of the portal.
You froze right about the time you were putting a finger up for whoever it was.
Nelly Davis.
Yeah.
Put the 1 up for Nelly Davis.
For as much criticism as we've given him over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
He hits it. But I watch D-Mad's head explode here. I want to put a finger to the sky for me because last week.
No.
Hold on. Because last week, both here and on the radio show, I said that this team needed a moment, whether it be Calipari getting ejected or a little scuffle or something that turns this team around and brings this team together. And I said, watch it be the Kentucky game. Watch it be this game that turns it all around.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do I think that Boogie Flan going down kind of lit the match? Probably. But how many times over the years have we seen the superstar go down and the guys around him step up? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I mean, we saw it with D-Mac back in the day.
Yeah.
We saw it with Mallet because look at Tyler Wilson stepping up.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great example.
You know, it goes back to the fact. Now, before anybody jumps on my case, no, I'm not saying Boogie Flan is a problem with this team. No, this is Boogie's team. But that's the response you want to see when your star player goes down. The other guys step up.
Mm-hmm. And that's what's happened. I mean, you look at DJ Wagner moving over to the point. He's had a very good assist to turnover ratio since moving over to the point. He's still scoring. Nelly Davis, you know, we talked about that. His last 3 games, he's gone 18, 18, and 25. I mean, this is what we expected this team to look like earlier in the year. I mean, they went down to Texas last night and dominated that game for, I would say, about 35 of the 40 minutes. And you guys were, we were talking about in the pre-show, there was a stat that I was trying to figure out what the stat was I wanted to bring to the show, and my mind was going blank. It just come back to me. Last night, we were talking about Nelly Davis. He had a great game last night, 25 points, 6 or 8 assists, whatever it was. Player of the game.
Right.
Nelly played 39 minutes and 25 seconds last night. He played all but 35 seconds of the game last night.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, I gave him a lot of criticism.
I did too. I was hard on him, dude.
Especially for the end of the Oklahoma game.
Yes.
And the fact that he's been practically MIA this entire time. And the last 2 games, he has really stepped it up. And I feel like Kentucky was his coming out party.
Yeah, I mean, if you look back, other than the last play at the Oklahoma game, he had a good game. He had 18 points that game. He was shooting, I think he was close to 50% on 3-pointers. But that last play is all anybody's remembering about his game there. And then you go up to Kentucky, and he set the tone early, and then he had another great game last night. I mean, it was just he's also making free throws, which is something that this team, I made a comment of it earlier in the year that I was concerned about free throw shooting because that's always been an Achilles heel of Calipari teams. Well, it doesn't seem to be right now because we're right about that magic number I like to see of around 75%, especially over the last 3, 4, 5 games.
Well, and the thing is too, going into last night, one of our biggest things, and MCU and I've talked about this, was can they sustain the game from Kentucky? Can they carry it down to Austin? Yeah,
and they did.
And they did. They did. Now Texas, as much as they tried, especially in the second half,
things got a little hairy for a little bit there in the second half. Because the lead grew up to about 22 points. And then the next thing you look around and it's down to 5. And I know I did this, and I guarantee you did it, and D-Mad did it, and anybody else watching the show that has watched more than one Arkansas game this year did it too. We were like, oh, crap, here we go again.
Well, and I'll tell you this, they got real touchy with that whistle.
Very.
Hey. Technical foul. Hey. Y'all
Do we need to go
out there?
Let's go have a review like the 47 reviews we had at Kentucky.
We're not going to sit out here and just act like we're not going to anticipate these calls, guys. Let's keep it fair out here, all right? D-Matt out.
That's about right, man.
That's about how he does it.
That's
Next thing you know, somebody's going to mention TCU, and
oh, don't get him going on that. Don't get him going there. Let me tighten my tinfoil.
Oh man, we love D-Man. No, I mean D's exactly right. He is exactly right.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like it was planned out. I'm not saying that they was planned and all that, but the way that they would blow the whistle before they foul.
Well,
there were several times that you're like, how was that a foul? He never got touched.
Yeah, there were 3 or 4 that I can think of just off the top of my head that there was zero contact and it was 100% an anticipatory whistle. How about that?
Wow, that was a big one.
That's a big one, man. That's a big one for the country boy. But I mean, seriously, that's what it was, because the first half, Texas had all the fouls. Arkansas had 4 or 5 fouls the entire first half. And then they come in at half, and then by the under 16 media timeout, Texas is already shooting 1-1, and they're going to be in the bonus the rest of the game. 4 minutes into the second half, and they're in the bonus. You can't tell me for it to that big of a swing was because of the difference in the way they were playing from the first half to the second half. That is the thing that drives me absolutely insane about officials sometimes. I can deal with bad calls as long as they're consistent on both ends. There was zero consistency between the first half and the second half. We've seen it in especially in basketball, and sometimes we've seen it from the umpires in baseball games too, where they miss a pitch and then they give us one, or that should have been a strike, and then they'll give us a ball or something. Yeah,
but come on.
Well, it's almost like to me, it seemed like that, and I'm sorry I cut you off there, Zach. There's a little bit of a delay that's messing with me. It felt like to me and I don't know if this happened or not, but the referees, it's almost like they looked at the stat sheet at halftime and was like, oh, holy crap, we got to call some fouls on Arkansas in the second half. And they went above and beyond to try to overcorrect the foul differential from the first half. And you can't do that. You cannot officiate that way. The first half is gone. It is what it is. You shouldn't try to come out and have an entire half of makeup calls.
I mean, it's like Mark Curls is out there officiating.
Oh my God. It was awful.
Or who's the one, the umpire we hate? Trevor, help me out here. Perry.
Oh, the dude from 2012 College World Series.
Yeah.
Against South Carolina. Say it again, D. Perry Costello.
Yeah.
That's him.
I mean, you're trying to get on the list. Chris Jericho, you're on the list.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was just I've never seen such a hardcore swing in the way fouls were called from the first half to the second half. Normally you don't even see that big of a swing in high school games.
No. And if I had to pick, and if I had one thing to nitpick for the Kentucky game and the Texas game, it's not even the playing. It's not even the play on the court. It's the officiating. Yeah. It's the officiating.
I just found out something. I just pulled it up on just looking at the game from last night. I'm looking at the 4:27 mark of the game.
All right.
From the 4:27 mark to the end of the game lasted 25 minutes.
See, that's ridiculous.
See that you can't
25 minutes to play 4 minutes. Are you kidding me? I don't know. I don't know. And I don't know if it's the way that the SEC officials are interpreting the rules, or if they're just that inconsistent with what they see. I don't know, man. I couldn't, but I have some friends that are officials, and they tend to get after me a little bit when I get on officials. But last night, And there's been one other game this year too that they did this. They were just as vocal as I was, and it was like, one of them come in and said, "I can't defend that." He's like, "Now I'm not there. I'm not seeing what he's seeing." He said, "But from official to official, I can't defend that because the camera angle that we have is basically the same angle that the referee was seeing." And he's like, "I don't know what he's looking at."
D-Mad's got a clip. D-Mad, pull your clip up, and if you've got it, this is of Fierro's foul.
Oh, this one was awful.
Yeah, this one was. Watch this.
I mean, he completely whiffed.
Yeah,
he completely whiffed on him.
Ices his way through to pick up the foul, and he'll be going back to the free throw line. Good patience,
and that's what got Texas back in the game.
That's courtesy of ESPN, by the way. That video is courtesy of ESPN.
I mean, there's. I'm still aggravated about that because.
Well, but I mean, if you're going to call it fair, like you said.
Yeah, just be consistent. Just be consistent. If it's a foul on one end, it should be a foul on the other end.
Hey, do I need to call another technical foul on you too? I'm going to throw you all out the game.
Beautiful.
I love it. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to continue our discussion of Arkansas basketball on the upswing. A week ago we were talking
back on the bubble.
A week ago we were talking about 1-6, and oh my God, the wheels are falling off. What are we going to do? Baseball save us, and here we are a week later going, back on the bubble. What's going to happen? But I want to tell you about my friends over at Seven Oaks Steakhouse and Seafood, where quality meets tradition. Discover Seven Oaks Steakhouse and Seafood, your fine dining gem in downtown Conway. Seven Oaks offers a unique dining experience, sourcing the best local ingredients for their farm-to-table menu. From succulent seafood to perfectly grilled steaks and beyond, there is something for everyone. At Seven Oaks, the atmosphere is ideal for any event, including watch parties, intimate dinners, because Valentine's Day is coming up, and business meetings. You will experience quality, flavor, and tradition with each dish. So come to Seven Oaks Steakhouse and Seafood in downtown Conway, where quality meets tradition. Indulge in your next culinary adventure with us. That is Seven Oaks Steakhouse and Seafood, 912 Front Street in historic downtown Conway. All right, we're going to take a break. More Inside the Hawg Pen right after this.
Mix Design is your one-stop shop for custom clothing with a personal touch. At Mix Design, we can help you tell your story through your wardrobe. Your imagination on a hat, shirt, pullover, or nearly anything wearable. And while you're picking out some custom clothing, check out the one-of-a-kind handmade soaps from the Bobcat Soap Company. Find us on Facebook and let us create custom swag just for you at Mix Design.
Hey, Hawg Fanatics. We at Inside The Hawg Pen are thrilled to announce that SeatGeek is now a sponsor. As brand ambassadors, we're excited to share SeatGeek as a ticket app that simplifies the ticket buying process for all your favorite events. They provide a 0 to 10 score for each ticket, with green indicating a good deal and red indicating a not so good deal. As a special offer, Hawg Fanatics can get $20 off their first ticket purchase by using the code INSIDEHOGPEN. Check out our socials for the link, and remember to use the code INSIDEHOGPEN.
It's time to step back inside the Hawg Pen to the Mix Design Studios.
Hi, welcome back to Inside the Hawg Pen. Razorback Zach and Marcus MC Carlson. Why are you smiling?
I'm having too much fun with AI right now.
So scared. I am so scared. I am so scared. Hey, big shout out to my parents, by the way. They came out to the watch party.
Yeah.
Enjoyed themselves. First time my mom and dad got to see me do this thing live, and got to meet MC and D-Mad. But big thank you to them for coming out. All All right, so I am one to mention most of the time that when the Hogs start losing, I send a text to my
Say the line. Say the line.
and it says something along the lines of, well, that's it. Season's over. Pack it in.
I can't even take a trigger.
Last night, look, y'all see the look he's giving me, by the way.
Oh, man.
Last night we started out a little rough, and I said, well, there's the Arkansas team we all come to remember and see. Next thing you know, he's like, don't do it. Don't do it. And I went, reverse psychology. If I say it, they're going to do well. And would you look at that?
There you go. There you go. Your reverse psychology paid off.
Finger to the sky for me. Put it down, D-Mad. I know what you're doing.
Yeah, not that finger.
Your new toy won't censor that.
Very true. That's very true. Yeah.
No, rumors of Hog Hoop season over is greatly exaggerated. But again, we talked about this before the break.
Yeah.
Is they needed this Kentucky game. And I
absolutely. And then they needed to follow it up with the Texas game.
Now, here's the real test. You come home, you've got Alabama tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Saturday night.
That's a tough one.
Okay. I don't want to jump on that gravy train.
Right.
But
no, I'm 100% with you. I know where you're going, and I'm right there with you.
You knock off Kentucky, Texas, and Bama within a 7-day time span.
Mm-hmm.
You're turning some heads, and there's no way you can't be in the tournament.
Well,
or at least in the last 4 in.
You've already moved up from not even to the next 4 out. You're up to the last 4 out right now after your wins at Kentucky and at Texas. I mean, let's think about that, man. That's back-to-back road wins in the SEC. How long has it been since we've done that?
That is hard to do.
Yeah. Yeah. So you get those.
No. No.
Oh, it'll probably happen. I agree with Zach. It doesn't need to, but it probably will.
No. I'm telling you now. We beat Bama. Act like you've been there.
Yeah. But here's the thing with that Bama game. Chances are this one probably, I just don't know. I don't know if there's enough magic left to pull that one off. And that's why getting the Texas game was so big, because you get the win at Kentucky. That's a huge upset. They were number 12 in the country at the time. That's a huge upset. You get that on the road. You go down to Texas. They're borderline top 25, but still a quad 1 win. You get that win, and then you come home. If you happen to drop the one at home to Alabama, it doesn't hurt you as much because of that win at Texas. Because what is Alabama, top 5 right now?
3. They're number 3.
They're number 3. Okay. So, chances are, but again, you come back into this like you did the Kentucky game. You come into this, man, loose, nothing to lose. All the pressure's on them. They're the number 3 team in the country. They're supposed to come in here and roll. All the pressure's on them.
Yeah, but here's and this, and I want to say this way. This could be a trap game for Alabama.
Absolutely.
If they overlook us, we need to take full advantage of it, because it's entirely possible. All right? It's entirely possible that you've and I think after Bama you've got LSU. And I think that one's at home.
I think that's right. Yeah. Yeah, because the model going forward the rest of the way is 2 on the road, 2 at home, 2 on the road, 2 at home. So you've got, and then after LSU, I think you go to South Carolina, if I remember correctly. So you've got an opportunity here. You're back on the bubble. According to Joe Lunardi, you're officially on the bubble right now.
So here's the remaining games in the month of February. Saturday, you've got Alabama in Bud Walton. You've got home against LSU. You're at Texas A&M. You're at Auburn. Missouri comes in, and then Texas comes in to Bud Walton. Okay. And then in March, you've got at South Carolina, at Vanderbilt, and home to wrap up the season against Mississippi State.
I mean, those road games are going to be brutal. Even going to South Carolina, with them having a goose egg in conference right now, makes them even more dangerous, because they're going to get somebody, and you don't want to be the somebody they get.
No, but think about I mean, they keep this going.
Yeah.
That's true. You drop to Alabama, it's not going to hurt you in the long run, but
Right.
because look, they're top 3. You drop against Auburn, still not going to hurt you. It's gonna hurt my pride because
Yeah, we don't like Auburn.
no, we don't like Auburn. But come on, how can you not buy into this team right now?
Yeah, you've got to. I mean, they've shown what I've been begging them to show the whole season. They've shown fight. You know, they are now playing with a chip on their shoulder, which I absolutely love. You know, the other night at Kentucky, things got a little chippy right there towards the end of the game. Billy Richmond was ready to fight everybody in Rupp Arena. I mean,
love it. But see,
hey, you can take the boy out of Memphis, but you ain't taking the Memphis out of the boy. That was some 901 stuff right there.
That is what you want to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to see that grit.
Absolutely. That's what this team needs. They need to carry a chip on their shoulder and have that us versus the world mentality, because they stay locked in with that. And that's what's going to take them to where we want this team to go.
All right, we're going to step away for another break. On the other side of the break, by the way, that's going to do it for our basketball talk. On the other side of the break, we're going to talk a little football.
Yeah, we got football talk, man.
The Gridiron Expert steps inside the hog pen. I'm Razorback Zach, Marcus MC Carlton, back right after this.
Mix Design is your one-stop shop for custom clothing with a personal touch. At Mix Design, we can help you tell your story through your wardrobe. Your imagination on a hat, shirt, pullover, or nearly anything wearable. And while you're picking out some custom clothing, check out the one-of-a-kind handmade soaps from the Bobcat Soap Company. Find us on Facebook and let us create custom swag just for you at Mix Design.
Hey, Hawg Fanatics. We at Inside The Hawg Pen are thrilled to announce that SeatGeek is now a sponsor. As brand ambassadors, we're excited to share SeatGeek as a ticket app that simplifies the ticket buying process for all your favorite events. They provide a 0 to 10 score for each ticket, with green indicating a good deal and red indicating a not so good deal. As a special offer, Hawg Fanatics can get $20 off their first ticket purchase by using the code Inside Hawg Pen. Check out our socials for the link, and remember to use the code Inside Hawg Pen.
It's time to step back inside the Hawg Pen to the Mix Design Studios.
All right, welcome back to Inside the Hawg Pen. Razorback Zach, Marcus MC Carlton, now joined by a good friend of mine. He was on the debut episode of Inside the Hawg Pen Radio, and now he gets to step inside the Hawg Pen to talk a little football. Alex Galbraith, the Gridiron Expert. You can find him on YouTube, Gridiron Expert. This guy knows college football. He knows the game of football, kind of like I do the Razorback football. But
if I have MC School of Hog Hoops, when Alex comes on, we're taking it up to like the Ivy League level of
this
football
is like
knowledge.
Harvard, Yale,
Yeah, this is the Harvard of football knowledge right here, man. Alex, good to have you back, man.
So
Man,
Alex,
Paul got a great introduction. First off,
hey,
worked with you guys tons before. Always a blast. So thank you guys for having me on.
so little backstory. I first met Alex when we sat in on the Dave Ellswick show. God, 2018, early 2018. Him and his brother joined the Dave Ellswick show. And we all kind of sat around and talked football. And I was like, dude, I got to have this guy on. I have to get this guy on a regular basis.
Well, Alex and I have history working together too, because in my previous job, when I was going out and covering high school football, Alex and I called several games together.
Yeah, we had some great ones. We did a crazy one in Truman, did a crazy one in Highland.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, we had the one at Truman with all the shenanigans. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was wild.
Crazy,
Before we jump into this, MC, I feel kind of underdressed because he's in a suit.
I know, man. He's in a suit and a jacket. I mean, he's got the tie and everything, and we're both in here in a couple t-shirts. I mean,
Right?
golly,
That's why they call him the expert. All right, Alex, I'm going to jump right into this. It's Chiefs Eagles Sunday night for the whole thing. Super Bowl 59?
Yeah.
Wow.
In New Orleans at the Superdome, 5:30 on Fox. Kansas City is a 1-point favorite. Now, I'm a Cowboys fan through and through.
We don't hold that against him, though.
Yeah, well, they're not going to hold that against me, but they may hold this against me because I will say this for the one time only this year. Fly, Eagles, fly. Because
wow,
can the Chiefs pull the three-peat off? And is the NFL rigged?
That's two great questions. God, I mean, how much time you got? Honestly, really, that's the question.
I mean, hey,
if you look at it from the rigged argument that's been taking the league by storm for the last couple of weeks, you would be crazy not to think there's not something going on with the officials. The Chiefs have won, I'm not mistaken, like 16 or 17 straight one possession games. That just doesn't happen. I don't care how good you are. I don't care who your quarterback is. Someone made a point. That's like flipping a coin and it landing on heads 16, 17 times in a row. It doesn't happen. And we're seeing this more often now from Kansas City. You go back and look at all the Super Bowls they've won under Patrick Mahomes. They've won, 3 now? They're going for 4 total, three-peat. Every Super Bowl has kind of been marred by some sort of controversial call or no call. 3 Super Bowl victories, not a single holding call on the offensive line. That doesn't happen. I don't care what team you are. You don't go, 3 games, Super Bowls without a holding call. And actually, if you look at the stats too, interesting number. The Chiefs have played 12 playoff games since 2021, and they have been less penalized for less yardage in 11 of those 12 games.
God.
So
wow,
what you're saying is, hold on. Yeah, no, I just got. Hold on Twitter. There's a pass interference call on Philadelphia.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It just happened.
I mean, golly, I knew it. I knew that there were some stats that were a little eyebrow raising, but I did not realize the level that it has gotten to.
Well, but this is also. I mean, you got to think. This is reaching, and if it's not reaching, it's far beyond what the Patriots dynasty was from 2000 to 2012, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, you could actually honestly say the Patriots had a dynasty from, for 2 decades, from 2000 to 2010. And then they kind of, people thought they had fallen off. And they didn't. They went to 4 Super Bowls in a 5-year span with Brady from 2014 to 2018. So, and then Brady obviously went on to win another one with Tampa Bay. So I would say, from 2000 to 2020, it was the Patriots, and now the Chiefs have kind of taken over in this new decade.
Well, and I tell you this, the only reason the Chiefs have gotten where they're at, Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
So black magic for sure.
And I'm about the furthest thing that you can be from being a Swiftie. And I think there's a growing dislike, I guess is a good word to use here, because of the effect that she has. Because, like me, I don't care. I don't care who's there. I don't care what player's dating who. When I tune in, I'm not tuning in to see cutaways of their girlfriend or their wife or whatever. I'm tuning in to watch the game. And because she's one of those polarizing figures that you either love her or you hate her. There's no middle ground. She's the Chiefs. She's perfect for the Chiefs because right now I think they've become that team that nobody is just like, yeah, they're okay. I mean, you have your diehards, you have the front runners that have jumped onto the party late, and then you've got people that just absolutely cannot stand them. There's no middle ground, and she fits in there. And then for it, I kind of have a jaded viewpoint because I look at it from the business side of things because I did spend so long in the television business, and I'm looking at this and I'm seeing, okay, this is a business partnership, nothing more. It's to bring a new set of eyes to NFL games, to open it up to a new audience that is arguably the most rabid audience of any entertainer, probably since Elvis, maybe. And I mean, it's a different demographic from what the NFL normally pulls in. I'm the target demographic. I'm 47 right now, so I'm in the target demographic for the NFL. If they want to expand that out, what better way to expand it out than to go to the hottest demographic that is out there right now with her and her music and her Swifties, and bring them in and expose them to it. So I look at it I'm very jaded. I'm very, if you know me at all, I'm a big conspiracy theorist guy. So I think this is all just one big business agreement to get her publicity among people that may not be as familiar with her as the Swifties are, and vice versa, bring the Swifties into football.
Yeah, there's a lot of arguments for that. I mean, really, I remember last year when the whole relationship between her and Kelsey started. It was like, are they really in love?
Right. Yeah.
Meaning, this is definitely something that benefits both sides, and it has. I mean, the Chiefs have seen a significant amount of more fans. The amount of memorabilia and jerseys and merchandise has been sold for them. Obviously, and look, here's the thing: the Chiefs are a good football team. I'm not going to take anything away.
Right.
They're extremely well coached. Patrick Mahomes is obviously the best in the league right now. But I think the thing that rubs a lot of people the wrong way with the Taylor Swift connection, with just Kansas City going for a three-peat, is it's just kind of being like shoved down our throats every chance we get, or if they get, whether it's on social media. I mean, even non-sports related news outlets are shoving this down your throat, and eventually it just becomes tiring. And I don't know if I know the Patriots dynasty kind of began before the era of social media, but even when social media started becoming a thing, I never felt like it was that bad with New England. So it's just, it's one of those things where it's really just stop talking about it as much as it is. Maybe we back off a little bit, but because you keep focusing on it so much, no one cares.
Well, but here's the thing too. If you're tuning in for the game, and I blame Jessica Simpson and Tony Romo for this back in the day, they're the ones that started it
in true Cowboy fan fashion. Yes,
Hey, I got to throw a dig in there at him. Here's the thing: if I'm tuning into the Super Bowl and Travis Kelce makes a catch, don't cut over to Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
nobody cares.
Yeah,
no, I mean, because nobody pans over to Brittany Mahomes.
Well, that's a good point
too. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, she's standing right there, obviously next to Taylor, but still, and Loki, our social media guy, says it best. Says that's the thing though. If her and Kelsey break up, those fans will evaporate like spilled water in the summer.
Well,
yeah.
And obviously, you got to make someone out to be the bad guy. If someone breaks up, who did it, why they do it, and obviously, if you're a loyal Taylor Swift fan, you're going to side with her regardless of the reason, and but then then the Chiefs fandom goes away. So
but this is a perfect example of how wild this whole thing is, because we've sat here for 5 minutes talking about the effect that she has. And that kind of feeds back to my whole thing of it being nothing more than a business agreement, because you've got three guys here probably that this is the most we've probably talked about her in our entire lives. So it's just one of those things that it's working to the NFL's advantage, because you're getting people to talk about it, even if it's negatively. You're still talking about it. And when you could be talking about Patrick Mahomes or Andy Reid. I mean, let's talk about the job that Andy Reid has done. And the connection to Philly with Andy Reid.
That was going to be one of my talking points. Was about this. He won a Super Bowl with Philly, did he not?
No.
They lost
there, but never. He lost to the Patriots.
Yeah, that was the McNabb and T.O.
That's right.
crew, right? Yeah,
that's right. I thought they won one under Reid, but no. The connection there. I mean, there's a lot more to this Super Bowl than just Taylor Swift.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Well, in any publicity, like Marcus was saying, whether it's positive or negative, any publicity is good publicity. I think everybody can agree to that from a business standpoint, and that's great for them and frustrating for us, because then you do catch yourself in the mix of talking about it when you don't want to talk about it, but then somehow you go down this rabbit hole and you can't find your way out.
Well, so what do we need to look for from Philly? Because we pretty much know what Kansas City's bringing to the table. Outside of Saquon Barkley, if the Chiefs are able to slow him down, what's option B?
Yeah, you've got to go back and look. Honestly, 2 years ago, when these two teams met in Super Bowl 57, Jalen Hurts, they didn't have Saquon Barkley. They didn't have a good rushing attack. Jalen Hurts was the do-it-all guy. And if you actually break that game down statistically, the Eagles should have won that game. They significantly outgained Kansas City. They dominated the time of possession. The three major plays in that game that cost the Eagles the game were the fumble recovery for a touchdown by Nick Bolton, the huge punt return, I believe, by Kadarius Toney at the time, and then the obviously controversial defensive holding call late in the fourth quarter. Those were the three calls that really affected Philadelphia over the course of the game. The Eagles outplayed them the rest of the way, 11 for 18 on third down, 2 for 2 on fourth downs. Jalen Hurts threw for over 300 yards in that game and rushed for 3 touchdowns, but no one talks about that. But this year, Jalen Hurts hasn't played like that. Jalen Hurts has had 4 games where he's thrown for over 250 yards. That's it. They've played, 17 games? Yeah. Only 4 where he's hit 250. So if Saquon gets shut down, can Jalen Hurts actually step up and deliver like he did 2 years ago? That's kind of what I'm looking for.
I'm impressed with the tear that Saquon has been on in the postseason alone. I mean, you get into the postseason, you talk about the best players save their best games for when the lights are the brightest. Yep. And that seems to be what Saquon has done throughout this postseason. I'm kind of interested to see if they do key on him, and let's say he has a slow first half, what adjustments does Philadelphia try to make to get him involved? Do they go more, instead of just running him the way they normally do? Do they start looking at little dump passes, just anything to try to get him, that little confidence builder? It's kind of like in basketball when you're 0 for 6 from the field. Okay, well, I need to either get a layup or a free throw. What kind of layup or free throw could they use to try to get Saquon rolling?
It's a tush push.
Yeah. The most unstoppable play in football right there.
Yeah, no doubt. No, it's going to be interesting, I think.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think that's the question. The Chiefs, Steve Spagnuolo, every Super Bowl that he's coached as defensive coordinator for the Chiefs has been outstanding. I mean, he has come up with a brilliant game plan. And granted, they haven't really played anybody great. The 2 49er teams they played were, mediocre at best. Jimmy Garoppolo and Brock Purdy were their quarterbacks. They really should have lost to the Eagles 2 years ago. So, but I mean, obviously they're going to sell out in the run. I think the Chiefs' defensive game plan is, if we can shut down Saquon Barkley and force a up and down Jalen Hurts this year to win the game through the air, they're going to like their odds quite a bit. Yeah. I'm more curious too, on top of that, can they contain Jalen Hurts from a rushing standpoint? We talk about, if Barkley's a non-factor, Hurts has got to do it all through the air. I expect them to run quite a bit of RPO in this game. Is he going to give it to Barkley? Is he going to tuck it and run? Right. Making sure that you keep that Chiefs defensive line kind of on their toes. That's going to be what Philly needs to do, especially if running it up the middle with Saquon every time isn't working.
We are up against the break. We are going to come back in just a moment and finish up with the Gridiron Expert. I'm going to get his prediction on this big game. But first, let me tell you about my friends over at Seven Oaks Steakhouse and Seafood, where they go on a culinary journey. They're your premier dining destination in historic downtown Conway, named in tribute to the owner's Cherokee family. Seven Oaks is more than a restaurant. It's a culinary journey. Here we believe in farm-to-table sourcing the finest local products for our menu. Are you craving seafood, steaks, or do you need a vegetarian or gluten-free option? We've got you covered. Step into a warm, inviting atmosphere perfect for special occasions or date nights, because next week is Valentine's Day, fellas. Every bite promises quality, flavor, and memories. Seven Oaks Steakhouse and Seafood, where every meal is a celebration. Visit us in historic downtown Conway for your delightful culinary adventure. 912 Front Street in Conway. Tell them Razorback Zach and Inside the Hawg Pen sent you, and they are taking reservations for Valentine's Day now. So give them a call before the seats fill up. On the other side of the break, we get our final breakdown from the Gridiron Expert, and I get his prediction coming up on Inside the Hawg Pen right after this.
Meeks Design is your one-stop shop for custom clothing with a personal touch. At Meeks Design, we can help you tell your story through your wardrobe. Your imagination on a hat, shirt, pullover, or nearly anything wearable. And while you're picking out some custom clothing, check out the one-of-a-kind handmade soaps from the Bobcat Soap Company. Find us on Facebook and let us create custom swag just for you at Meeks Design.
Hey, Hawg Fanatics. We at Inside The Hawg Pen are thrilled to announce that SeatGeek is now a sponsor. As brand ambassadors, we're excited to share SeatGeek as a ticket app that simplifies the ticket buying process for all your favorite events. They provide a 0 to 10 score for each ticket, with green indicating a good deal and red indicating a not so good deal. As a special offer, Hawg Fanatics can get $20 off their first ticket purchase by using the code Inside Hawg Pen. Check out our socials for the link, and remember to use the code Inside Hawg Pen.
It's time to step back inside the Hawg Pen to the Meeks Design Studios.
All right, welcome back to Inside the Hawg Pen. Final segment here before we let the Gridiron Expert go. I'm gonna go ahead and get your prediction, Alex, and please tell me the Eagles win this thing.
I think that's what we're all rooting for, right? I think everybody outside of Kansas City is probably rooting for Eagles victory. And look, here's the thing. I actually put a prediction out for this video on my YouTube channel today. Went deep. It's like 16 minutes long, deep in detail. But
plug your channel. Plug your channel.
Yeah, I mean, while we're on the topic, before I give it, the Gridiron Expert over on YouTube. Definitely go check it out. Our whole tagline right now is, the football season technically comes to an end on Sunday, but it's just starting for us over on YouTube. So we're cranking out nonstop football content for you. So if you're looking for analysis on every single team, predictions on every single team from now until the start of the season in August, we're your home for it. So go check us out, subscribe to us. We'd love to have you. But we just put a prediction out today for the Super Bowl. And the Eagles have been there 2 years ago against the exact same team.
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs, obviously, 3 years in a row. Definitely a lot more experience on Kansas City side than the Eagles side. Reed's been there multiple times. Mahomes is the best in the league right now. The thing that comes down to me more than anything is I expect it to be close. I expect it to be high scoring, just like we saw 2 years ago. And I truly do hate saying this. In a close game like that, which call is going to go whose way? Who's going to get the call when it matters the most? And that's going to be Kansas City. Because we've seen that.
Hey, I'm sorry to stop you, but I'm just got to be consistent throughout because officiating is taking advantage of this whistle program. So that's a warning. That's a warning.
So Alex, little backstory. Our producer Dylan has been very touchy with the whistle tonight.
Worst idea he ever had was downloading that damn whistle.
Yeah, and it's in tribute to the Arkansas-Texas game last night in the amount of fouls that were called in the second half alone. So that he's anticipating calls, kind of like last night, and he anticipated the whistle there.
Yeah, I understandable. God, they were in the bonus within 4 minutes. Yeah, that's another.
Yeah.
Jeez. Respectfully. Yeah, that's fair. Look, we've seen it time and time again. We saw it 2 weeks ago against the Bills. We saw it 2 years ago against the Eagles. If this game comes down to the wire and Mahomes is trying to lead a game-winning drive or a game-tying drive, something's going to end up going their way. I just really believe that. Like we mentioned, it's good for business. And what's better for business than a team making history, becoming the first team to ever win 3 straight Super Bowls? So
Cowboys should have done it first.
31-27.
31-27. Wow. Okay. All right. Zach, are you going to give one?
Do I have to?
Oh, no, you don't have to. I mean, I
say Eagles win.
I have to agree with Alex. I think it's Kansas City in a close one.
Well, look at it this way. This game could go one of two ways. If they break up, Taylor Swift's got another, number one album because she's going to write a song about, another guy.
Very true. Yeah.
That's all she writes songs about. Is how she broke up with a guy and how they broke her heart.
How does so let's say Kansas City pulls out the close one. What does that do for the legacy of Andy Reid?
I honestly think it probably cements him as currently the second best of all time.
Right.
I don't know if anybody can top Belichick. I mean, Reid's right behind him. The run that he's having with Patrick Mahomes is starting to look eerily similar to the run that Belichick had with Brady. And I will sit there and tell you, I don't believe Mahomes is the GOAT. Now, 10 years from now, maybe, but to crown him prematurely as the best quarterback we've ever seen when he's played not even a third of the years that Brady has played. I know 4 Super Bowls if he wins on Sunday would be great. But it's very premature to call him the GOAT if they win. It's premature to call Andy Reid the GOAT if they win on Sunday. But I think it cements him as the second best currently. And he's only got a few years left, if you're asking me.
Yeah.
Well, it's like we say, and of course I'm the last person to talk about the NBA, but everybody argues that LeBron's the GOAT. Jordan is the overall GOAT, but each decade, each era has their own GOAT. I mean, you had Magic, you got Bird, you've got
Kareem before that. I mean, Bill Russell. You could go through every era. You can do the same thing in the NFL as well. I mean, let's not forget about a guy by the name of Joe Montana. And what he accomplished with the 49ers. Yeah. And then, before that, you've got Terry Bradshaw with Pittsburgh. And, it's just, it's a very similar discussion that you can have. But I agree with you that it's very difficult. And I think it's almost unfair to start the GOAT conversation with Mahomes coming off of the heels, because Brady's not been out of the league that long. Like you said, 5-10 years down the road, we may look at it because we don't know what he's got left, what Mahomes has left to accomplish in his career. But right now, I think it's premature. I think it's pump the brakes. Right now, Brady's still going to have that title with the majority of fans that are not overly biased towards Kansas City.
Exactly. As far as my prediction goes, I'm going to go 38-35 in overtime. Eagles win it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That was the exact same score 2 years ago. Just flipping the team to win. Yep. All right. Very nice.
There you go. How about that? Hey, we can't close it out any better than that, man.
Yeah.
No. Come on, MC.
Oh, you want to score?
Yeah.
I will go just a little higher on the points total. I'm going to go 42-38 Kansas City.
All right. Well, Alex, we appreciate you joining Inside the Hawg Pen tonight, man, and we look forward to having you on as the 2025 football season gets underway in just a few months.
Absolutely, guys. Always a pleasure. Definitely look forward to doing this again soon.
Enjoyed it, man. Good to see you. Good to hear from you.
Hey,
we'll see you, buddy. Final thoughts before we get out of here tonight, MC.
I'm going to jump back into my expertise. I'm going to jump back to hoops real quick. As I said earlier, the rumors of the season being dead and over are greatly exaggerated. Even if Arkansas drops a game Saturday night to Alabama, they've still got plenty of opportunities to continue with the winning and get off the bubble and get firmly into the tournament.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Well, I'm Razorback Zach for Marcus MC Carlton and Dylan Madden. Everybody, enjoy the victory. We will see you next week. So long, everybody.
Thanks for watching this episode of Inside the Hawg Pen. Listen anytime on your favorite podcast provider, and be sure to follow us on all our social network channels.